And we are back, and we just finished watching 2020's Summerland, rated PG-13 with a runtime of 1 hour and 39 minutes. This is currently streaming on Netflix as well as some other places. This was written and directed by... This was written and directed by Jessica Swale, S-W-A-L-E. Is that
Swale?
Could be Swale.
Swale. Okay.
Swale?
Perhaps.
Swale. Sorry.
We're getting all the bases covered.
Yes. This is the story of a woman named Alice, played by Gemma Arterton, who is a reclusive writer during World War II. And one day gets a knock on the door from someone who is placing evacuees.
Saying that this child basically is in her custody.
Yes.
Exactly.
And it's a young boy named Frank, played by Lucas Bond, who did a really good job. I really enjoyed his performance.
Yeah,
he was
a decent actor.
A little bit of trivia. Amanda Root is the woman, Mrs. Lawrence, who plays him, who we also had seen in Persuasion, which everyone had a good laugh about.
Is she the one who says...
No, she's not the one that says... She's the one that lines up with Captain Wentworth.
Oh, okay.
The female lead?
So
Yeah.
she was the young stupid daughter.
No.
Which was the one that was the young stupid daughter?
Are you talking about
I think it was
woman?
Mary. She was the one that was married to Charles, and they lived in the country, and she was always like, oh, I'm dying. Please send Anne. Anne was Amanda Root's character.
Okay.
Yeah. She's the one that winds up with Kieran Hines.
Okay. You know what? I think I'm screwing up my Jane
Austen
stories. So everybody's trying to get married. That's all I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's bring it back. So in this one, the Alice character is entrusted with a young boy named Frank, played by Lucas Bond, who has come to this little seaside town in the country.
Yeah, his father's in the war. His mother works for the ministry. And during that time, they would take children out of London due to the blitz and bring them to the countryside where they would be safer and place them with families out there. So, right. I mean, there's a lot of movies where little kids end up in the English countryside and, hijinks ensue.
This is it's probably fictional, but obviously based on real life events. And maybe the writer had some knowledge of people that had gone through this. It's a beautifully told story. Yeah. The visuals are stunning. The costuming on this is magnificent. It's not like, not in the sense of like a Marvel movie is exciting, but it's still,
There's no aliens or explosions or anything.
Yes, none of that. None of that.
It's just a drama with it's got its little twist. You find out more about Alice in this town. She's sort of like the recluse. Everybody's sort of afraid of her. She's called the witch. Very standoffish. She's called the witch. She's kind of
mean.
Yeah, standoffish is too kind. She's flat out mean. Like when she went to the general store
with the kid with the candy bar was hilarious.
I want candy, and like it's being rationed, and they're like, "Oh, you don't have enough ration tickets," and she's like, she makes it look like she's gonna buy the little kid candy, and then she's just like, she just takes it and leaves. Yep.
She should have ate it.
She should have ate it right in front of that kid. Yeah. That would have made it even more sweet.
But
it's delicious.
And she's not very nice to Frank in the beginning.
No, she has absolutely, and it's not. She's not even subtle about it.
No.
The kid's standing right there, and she's like, "I don't want this."
But soon enough, he grows on her.
Yeah, I mean, he's
not a bad kid.
He's like an optimistic little boy. He's
very sweet.
He's very sweet. There's not a bad bone in this kid.
Yeah. He
has a rat.
They found a pet rat.
Yeah. And I agree, that thing would not come into the house. Yeah. Sorry. I'm going to go around the table and get impressions. Olive G, what did you think of this film? Did you like it?
Nobody can see the faces you're making.
Yeah.
Come on.
You know what's funny? I turned to you at one point and was just super excited that you didn't walk off and do your usual 40-minute stint in the bathroom hiding,
Rolling
You did that
around
at
on
the
the
beginning.
floor.
rolling around on the floor. She did, but we didn't start the film until she got back from the bathroom.
Well, the thing was, I had to pee, and
TMI, girl. TMI.
and also I'm wearing all of this stuff.
How did you like the movie?
Did you like the movie?
Yes.
What did you like about it?
I like how there's this just very mean woman, and then all of a sudden, a boy just comes to her house, and basically she has to take care of him, and all of a sudden she softens up, so she's not like rude as she was before.
Very nice.
Yeah,
That's true. That's true. She does soften up.
She has a character arc.
Yes, yes. Who was your favorite character in this, Ology?
The rat.
Come on.
Of course.
The rat
Of
was
course
in the
it was
movie
the
for
rat.
like 10 seconds.
Yeah, if that. It wasn't Edie, I bet.
Oh, God.
Edie was a little jerk.
Edie was a
She
little
was
jerk.
going.
She was jealous of the new girl. You could
Yeah.
tell. She probably had a thing for Frank.
Oh, that was obvious.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She
definitely.
was an independent woman, but she still had a sweet spot for Frank.
Well, who wouldn't?
Be-
He's a sweet little kid.
and also, he kept talking about her.
Talking about Edie or
Edie.
yeah, well, she was the only one in that town that was his friend.
Yeah.
Because everyone was afraid of the witch.
Everyone was terrified of the witch. They thought that she was a Nazi collaborator. They thought she was a witch.
They had so many stories
They
about
were
her. It was
filling
hilarious.
her mailbox with dirt
Dirt
and
and
sticks.
sticks. I was like, what is going on?
And she actually complained about it, I think, several times.
Yeah.
Yeah, but nothing was being done.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Kids,
She should have bought that shotgun.
Stupid kids are gonna be stupid kids.
She
Exactly.
should have bought
exactly.
that shotgun and stuck it so that it
Comes
it
out the
comes
mailbox.
out there,
The mail
so
slot.
it looks like she's just waiting for them.
She should have
That
done
would
like
have been a different movie.
she should have done like Macaulay Culkin. What was it? Was it Merry Christmas, you filthy animal?
Keep the change, you filthy animal.
That's it. What about you, G? Did you like this film?
Yeah.
Any reason why?
I thought it was sweet.
It was sweet. Did you have a favorite character?
I liked Alice.
Alice was pretty cool. I liked her clothes too.
Yeah.
And I like the flashbacks with like the, I guess, clothes from the previous era.
The
1980?
They were like
Are you
flappers.
serious?
Yeah.
I can't tell years, Grace.
Oh my God.
The Second World War started in the 30s, right?
39.
Like,
39.
I don't know when World War II happened. I wasn't paying.
45.
We don't have history class yet.
You don't?
No, we have science. We're not learning about that. We're learning about matter and stuff.
in school, I mean, I remember like World War II was like covered in a single lesson. It was just like,
Yeah.
hey, we had World War II and we won, and that was
Everything was about like
the War of Independence. and-
that was like the big
and,
one.
yeah,
Slavery.
they talked about that, and they talked about Civil War. But
Civil War.
after that, it's
Not the Captain America Civil War.
They just float over everything else.
Yeah.
Well, like life science is basically about like matter and how animals are born and like energy.
Yeah, science.
Those
is
are
fun.
literally chapters in our book.
Okay. All right, so bringing it back to this. This is a movie about a woman who loves another woman. I thought that scene was very poignant where she kind of confesses to Frank
Yeah.
about her love, and she said, would you think that was bad? And he said no.
she
And her
cries.
reaction, she
Yeah.
cries because it was like she was being acknowledged, right? And she's trying to tell him, kind of, I guess, giving him some color, like there are people that think that we don't deserve,
We're wicked.
we're wicked
Deserve
and
to
we're
be
sinful.
burned.
We should be burned. And in his innocence, right? He's like, why? He kept asking, like as most young
Why?
children do, why? Everything was
Why?
like, I don't understand.
Yeah. And I
Well,
thought it was interesting when he said it's no worse than marrying someone that you'd never talk to
Or you don't love.
or you don't love.
Yeah.
But didn't he say that about his mother and his father?
I think that's exactly who he was talking about.
Really? I guess.
I thought he
think
said
that's
just
exactly what he
like
was talking about.
sometimes they argued with each other, and sometimes they just sat still and they were sort of like quiet.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, kids, nothing escapes them. They know when things are not good. And I think that being in that situation, Vera desperately wanted to be a mother.
Yeah.
There was
think-
no way Alice was going to make her a mother.
Because
So
they
she
were
needed
both
to go-
women,
right.
and also those things didn't exist back then.
Exactly.
That
You
let
couldn't
children have babies.
Well, you couldn't get artificially
not
inseminated
children.
or anything like that.
Women.
So Vera desperately wanted to be a mother because that's what she wanted. So she winds up, you find out in flashback that Vera and Alice had known each other in a past existence, well, not past existence, but years prior. And Vera winds up leaving Alice because she wants a family.
Yeah.
And also just living at that time,
She wants
they
to be
kind
a
of had
mother.
to hide who they were. And there's that scene in the hospital where Vera's visiting her mother and Alice is
Stay
outside the
outside.
door. And then when I guess Vera's brother comes with his family and his wife,
She gets jealous, I guess.
not jealous, but it's
His
No, they
family,
just
pushes
kind of
her
like
out of the
they
way.
push her out of the way and they just sort of like shut the door very briskly in her face.
right. But I think because they probably, well, I don't know if they knew, but obviously then you look into the room and Vera's off to the side
Yeah.
looking at Alice, and Alice is looking at Vera almost supportively, but it didn't matter because in that time that wasn't really accepted, right? So, and I think years later when they reconnect, it's different, right? Because now
It's more allowed.
I don't know if it's more allowed, but I think that they're older. They're probably going to be more willing to fight for their relationship. Alice has this house in the middle of nowhere. People aren't really
Coming there to visit.
right. So they can live their life. And it seems like by the end of the story, you see that they have now created this life together.
Yeah.
So that was really lovely too. What did you think of the film?
I thought it was good. I thought it was a story well told. Yeah. I mean, there was nothing really like shocking or surprising, or it was just very well told.
Yeah.
It was a solid story.
It was a solid story.
There's
Great
nothing-
performances, great set pieces, excellent costuming, everything about even like the minor characters. I even liked Edie a lot, the little girl who played Edie.
Everybody
Everyone did a
good
really
job.
great job.
Yeah.
Act-wise,
the
no.
principal,
Principal Tom Courtney.
his voice is very familiar.
He's been on a ton of stuff.
Yeah.
On a ton of stuff.
And I probably can't even remember, or most of us probably can't even remember.
Okay.
So we picked this for the month of Pride. This is obviously a story about two women in love. And it's interesting because even though it's told from this is a story about two people that wind up together years past, a lot of it still resonates today. And you can, well, I mean, it's not as bad as it used to be. I think same-sex couples are more universally accepted now. I think there's still obviously some
There's
places
still some
where,
prejudice out there.
yeah, some places out there where it's still tough. But I think for the most part, we've turned a corner there. The new thing I think is just a lot of anti-trans things.
Mm-hmm.
But hopefully we'll turn a corner with that as well.
Or we just accept people like who they want to love or whatever.
That would be great, but not everyone's hardwired that way, unfortunately. So
Why?
because people are ignorant.
You love who you love. Jesus.
I agree.
There
I
should
agree
be
with
a
you.
word that describes someone who's like against someone loving the same gender as them.
There is a world. There is a world.
There shouldn't be, though.
She said there shouldn't be, not there.
Oh, I thought you said there should be. I thought she said there should be a word for.
Why wouldn't she say there should be?
I don't know.
I said there shouldn't.
There shouldn't be. Well, they're assholes, so it doesn't even matter.
Language, please.
All right, so I'm going to round the table and get numbers 1 to 10.
I'd give this a 7.
G?
I give it an 8.
An 8. I, too, would give it a 7. What do you say, Olive G?
7.5.
7.5. 7.5, and an 8. The beautiful storytelling, gorgeous visuals, great camera work, great performances by everybody across the board. I really liked even the young kid actors in this film. If you haven't seen it in the month of Pride and you want to find a story that's lovely and sweet and...
Lovely and sweet is good.
Lovely and sweet. I was going to say it's not taxing. You won't be annoyed by it. I think it's just a really good, solid piece of storytelling. And that's it from us. And we will bid you all a good night.
Good night.
Good night.